In this lab, configure authentication and authorization in Linux. I will use the command line to create a group for new users and add users to the group. Each user will be assigned a password for authenticating at login. Then I will modify permissions to authorize and read, write and execute privileges for both user and groups. Part 1 is to add a group for new users to the virtual machine. Step 1 is to open a terminal window in CSE Lab VM. Launch the CSE Lab VM. Double click the terminal icon to open a new terminal. I will increase the size so it is easier to see. Step 2 is to escalate privileges to the root level. Enter sudo su command and then enter password as password. And now I am logged in as root. Step 3 is to add a new group HR. Enter the group command followed by the name of HR. Step 4 is to verify that the group has been added. Enter the cat command followed by the path of etc pass group. At the bottom of the list of group, you will see that the new HR group has been added, the group ID of 1001. In the part 2, I will add an user account for Jenny and Joe. Step 1 is to add Jenny as new user and move her to the HR group. To do this, I will enter user Jenny command and then complete the step assigned, and password will be genpass and full name as Jenny. So add user Jenny. New password will be genpass as the password. And then Jenny as full name. Accept all of this option as default. And then Y is for information is correct. Now let's move Jenny to the HR group. Use the command usermod to move Jenny to the HR group. Usermod with option G to HR group, and we are moving Jenny. Step 2 is to add Joe as a new user and move him to the HR group. Enter add user Joe command and password should be Joe pass, and then Joe for the full name and accept him all other defaults, and yes, this two information is correct. And now move Joe to the HR group. Use usermod command with G to HR group user Joe. Step 3 is to verify that the newly created users are in the password file. Enter command cat etc pass wd. At the down bottom you will see that it has been added to the password file as Jenny and Joe. Step 4 is to view created users in the shadow file. Enter cat followed by the path to the shadow file, which will be etc and shadow, and again down at the bottom you will see Jenny and Joe added to the shadow file. In part 3 you will log in as Jenny, explore directories and change permissions. Step 1 is to switch user from root to Jenny. To do this, click on the left desktop and click logout. Click switch user from the dialog box and then click Jenny from the user list. Enter her password as genpass to login, and you will see this is Jenny's desktop loads. You can right click on the desktop and choose to open a terminal. I will increase the size. Yeah. So step 2 is to explore Jenny's environment. Enter path command pwd to print the current directory, and then navigate to home directory, which is 2 levels up from the desktop. Enter lstackl command to list all the directories and its permissions. And the Linux operating system has a total number of 10 letters and dashes in the permission fields. So for example, if home directory have the following permission dr wx xrx, so right here the D in the first field indicates that this is a directory. A dash would mean that it is a file. The next set of 3 characters as rwx, which is for user permissions. For example, the user Jenny owns the directories, so You can read, write, and execute in our group. The second set of characters is artagx is for the group, meaning that no group and other than Jenny can read and write and execute in this directory. The third set of characters is artagx is for any other user or group. Any other user or group on the computer can read, write, and execute, but not read and execute, but not write. As Jenny entered the command cd Joe to change Joe's home directory. Notice that you will be able to navigate to the Joe's directory because of the permission in other is artagx. The X allows anyone to enter the directory, while in Joe's directory enter touch new to create a new document as new.txt. You are denied because user Jenny does not have any permission to write in Joe's directory. Enter the cd command to exit Joe's directory. Step 3 is to log in as root. Joe may not want Jenny to be able to read the contents of his directory. Root access or super user can change the directory permission to deny Jenny or any other users the ability to execute Joe's home directory. Log in as user Cisco with password. Use the su or switch command, su Cisco command to switch into Cisco, and then password. Enter the sudo tech command to switch to root, and then enter password. Step 4 is to modify the permission for Joe's home directory. Navigate to the home directory and use change mod to change the permission of Joe's home directory to non-executable for users. Enter the cd home and then change mod to authx for user Joe. List the directories by ls tackle and notice that now Joe's permission has been changed. From previous output from the ls command, step 5 is to verify Jenny can no longer have access to Joe's directory. Log out as user root and user Cisco. Type exit. Enter cd Joe command to add and to navigate to Joe's directory. Notice that the permission is denied. To see other example of the chmod command, refer to this chart. Pause the video here to consider these examples. In part 3, you change the permission in symbolic mode. In symbolic mode, the administrator uses chmod command with combination of letters and symbolic password to add or remove permissions. In part 4, I will use change mod command and octal values to set permission for each triplet or permission for users, group, and others respectively. Step 1 is to use switch user from Jenny to Joe. To switch to Joe's desktop, click menu at the top left and choose the button at the to end the current session, and then click switch user. Select Joe and enter his password as Joe pass. And Joe's desktop loads. Right click on the desktop to open a terminal, and I will increase the size. And step 2 is to explore Joe's environment. Enter pwd command to print the current directory, and then navigate to the home directory with the cd command. Enter ls tackle command to list all the directories in the home directory and with their permissions. Notice that Joe's directory is set so that others are able to access it. So step 3 is able to use absolute mode to modify and then verify Joe's permissions. The other way of assigning permission beside using symbolic is use of absolute permissions. An absolute permission uses 3-digit octal numbers to represent the permission of our owner, group, and others. And represent this chart. These are octal numbers from 0 to 7. 7 is read, write, and execute, where 0 is none. Pause the video here to review each of these absolute values and its corresponding permissions. Let's modify the group field for Joe's folder to no permissions and other fields so that the others will be able to read, execute but not write, while still maintaining user fields to read and write and execute. Enter the change mode command and then 7 for all writes for the Joe user and 0 for groups and no writes and 5 for others. 5 is read execute privileges. So and then specify Joe's directory. Use the lstackl command again to list all the permissions, and you can see that the group has no writes and the others have the read and execute rights. As Joe create a file in Joe's directory list, change to Joe's directory, and then use the touch command to create a test file by text.txt. List the directories and we see that our file is here. Notice that others will have ability to read but not write or execute this file. Step 5 is to switch user from Joe to Jenny. To switch to Jenny's desktop, click on the menu button at the top and end the current session and switch the user. Choose Jenny from the list, enter her password as genpass, and now we are back as Jenny. As Jenny changed to Joe's directory, and list his directories, notice that user Jenny as a member of others has read and access to the Joe's directory and also has read access for the test file that we created from Joe's. Step 8 is to attempt to create a file in Joe's directory. Enter touch command jenny.txt. Notice how user Jenny is denied permission to write in Joe's directory. Step 9 is to switch user from Jenny to Cisco and close the VM. Cybersecurity analyst is Cisco and then enter password as password and close the VM.